you're at the catch, all right? Pretty good catch position, and I think there's a little bit of early back opening here that is interesting, but generally you're pretty well connected here. We want to try to get the heels down as quickly as we can, so focusing on trying to get set on that machine so that you can get the glutes working a little bit more effectively. So that's one thing. And what I was saying was, like, when you're getting a lot of layback here, which what's interesting is that the wrists, your wrists are starting to, I'd like to see the forearm be straighter here so that the lats are being engaged. So instead of trying to bicep curl the release, that you're drawing through with the lat a little bit more effectively. But what the general point I'm making here is, when you're rating high, it seems like your system is a little bit this way, right? So let me get it better. Your system is a little bit too far this way. What I mean by that is, when you're trying to get the rate up, because you've come into this very laid back position, then in terms of like recovering, you're not getting back to your body in the right place until you get to the catch. And then what happens is you're having to set yourself a little bit further forward, and then you're connecting, right? What I would like to see is for you to simplify the movement a little bit more. And what I mean by that is, like, consider this, right? Consider, you're at the release position and we're not quite going quite so far back, but your system is sort of shifted a bit more this way, so that the emphasis is getting back to the catch quicker from the release. And so what I'm looking for here is, as you're drawing that last, inch or two into the body, you're already thinking about moving your upper body that way, right? Sorry, I'll draw that a little bit better. Right, there's a biomechanically, there's a couple of things going on at the end of the stroke. One is that last part of the handle moving in, and then the body coming this way. There's a sort of a switching there, and what's happening is you're thinking about it as finish the stroke and then swinging your body out of the bow. What I'm saying is, if you sit up a little bit more, you can start that sequence of getting the body over, and what that will do is shift your center of gravity this way a little bit, so that ultimately you're able to sort of click that wheel along a little bit more effectively, get a couple more beats, because you're being a bit smarter about changing direction. You're using the handle coming in to allow your body to get forward. And so, what's happening is, like, you're getting to there and the arms aren't extended yet, and you're not really set until you get up. And I think by this stage, what I want to see, if you're shifting your system that way a little bit more and not laying back quite so far, is that you're really at this point there, like the body's further forward, you've got a bit more weight in the feet, right? Because you've shifted things over, and you're not trying to get quite so much length at the back end, and what you're gaining from that is a little bit more front end application, and it's simpler because you're not laying back quite so far for you to get that forward body angle, be in position, and just click that wheel along, right? And so that's what I'm getting at here is, clearly you're not really set here because the body's not set, the arms aren't extended, and I know that things kind of meld together at the high rate. Like, it's really hard to row the way you row at 20 at 32 strokes per minute. But I think we could be a little less this way with our center of gravity, a little bit more this way, and just kind of be able to change direction at the end of the stroke by using the last couple of inches of the handle coming in to bring your body forward,